There are people who sought me out as strangers in the past. I never invited them. Someone was saying there I invited them. There's a Kerr family too. I never invited them to my house. A bunch of people tied to this Ray Colo and Joe Demore. Joe Demore, I never invited to my house. He was planting evidences too. That's why they wanted me to something to do with a fishing pole and his rules with all sides of with the streets parallel to my own. With a bunch of people with their educators putting fake things in databases and their rules with home break-ins. I don't know who the Ron Adams is, but in other words, I never had anything to do with Joe DeMore and a Kerr family. They sought me out to record, confess, demonstrate, confirm things about their roles with child abusers, leaders, and kids. I recorded that. I recorded them pretending other too with the courts. Increasingly, courts have been putting fake things, evidences with Wethersfield Police. And the Britain Superior Court has been putting predicate acts with people on my street and people parallel to it from other areas, as ones involved with the World Trade Center attack and the World Trade Center and the spots next to it, and their roles with corners of streets. And the news. News has roles with identity theft, fraud, slanders, and Facebook is personally and professionally involved with them, and foreign and domestic military. They should fear God to hide and plot. Stop playing games. In other words, and pretending things in backgrounds you know I'm going to show there remains to show that's fake. In other words, get them on paper. They're increasingly tied to body dumping spots, people from my grammar school I have nothing to do with. Now I only have good feelings for them. All exception. They're trying to make it like, oh, then why you class about this person? That person wasn't even in my class. In other words, in my class, I had nothing to do. I had nothing to do with South Sibiello. South Sibiello is increasingly involved with people with 2-hour highway and conjunctions to it, involved with wire crime, mail crimes, database crimes, with state police, writing forensics. Now they're involved with digital crimes and sexual medical offenders, people putting fake ties, fake natures of ties to me. In other words, like a Rick, what's his name? To people with the Cub Scouts involved with that. In other words, Interbranch will not get on paper. Please get them on paper. Fake YouTube, please get them on paper. Forget Judge Napolitano if he won't follow mandated law. Get them on paper because the Connecticut courts and the Fox News that brought him into it, and with their sources and the intelligence next to them, involved with child offenders through time, years apart. The names next to Fox Connecticut News. They're hiding that with the people who answer the phones, involved with wire crime action methods where they change and fake what's recorded there. You should fear God for what they do and did. They're gonna. That's why they have subject treatments about slavery, leaving out black people's whites of eyes. You have sick fake punks with these little undercover positions and their fake natures. In other words, get them on paper, please.